Hello, everyone. It's me. Okay. Oh, whoa. That was way too cringe. Okay, no, cut that. Cut that now. I'm sorry you had to witness that. That didn't happen. You saw nothing. Anyways, fellas, welcome back to another tier list. It's been a while since I've done one of these. I think like what, 2 months, 3 months, possibly 3 months. I'm not sure. But regardless, I've got a special one this time. Because just around the corner, about a month from now, maybe a little less than that, Super Mario Brothers Wonder is coming out soon. I'm sure it's going to be less than a month by the time this video goes up. I'm recording this ahead of time, so yeah. Sorry about the weird, unscripted nature of my appearance. It's always like this. So I thought, why not? Let's celebrate. Let's celebrate. Let's go back. Let's go all the way back. We're gonna do a tier list for the Super Mario games. And now, when to get some rules out of the way, we're talking Super Mario, as in like, you know, Super Mario, the mainline Mario games. So we're not counting like, you know, other Mario appearances, because obviously, the Super Mario games are not like Mario's first game. I mean, his first game was Donkey Kong, but these were the games that kind of like, you know, this is what he's known for. This is what he's best known for. So, yeah, and Nintendo pretty much knows that as well, because they always honor Mario. In terms of Mario's birthday, it's always with the Super Mario franchise, and not like the character's age, or the character himself. You get what I'm trying to say. I'm actually going off of, mostly going off of the official Nintendo website, which is probably a great way to piss off all the Nintendo fans. And, for that reason, I will say, that not every game is on there. For example, like, they have, like, ports for later games on there, but not like some of the earlier ports. So, because, you know, we're gonna drag this shit out, I'm going to include some ports, because Nintendo likes to ignore their history, because, yes, pretty much, because yes. So, for any of you angry Nintendo fans out there who don't like the fact that Nintendo doesn't have every Super Mario game on there, well, don't worry, I got you covered. And also, I gotta very quickly, there are Mario games that have Super and Mario in the title, but they're not Super Mario games. So, like, games like Super Mario RPG, and, Yoshi's Island, and Wario Land, and, what else? What was the other one? Super Paper Mario, of all things. None of those are gonna be here. These have to be mainline Mario games. Mainline Mario games. And especially in the case of, like, Yoshi's Island and Wario Land, I mean, sure, they're called Super Mario World 2 and Super Mario Land 3, but in actuality, they pretty much became their own series. That's not right. Series, you get the idea. Yoshi became his own thing, Wario became his own thing, and then became another old thing. It's a lot of complicated stuff. That's not the point of this video. We're dragging shit on, because don't we do that enough in this world? Let's get to our first game. Starting with Super Mario Brothers, the OG Super Mario Brothers. Now, released in 1985 for the Nintendo Entertainment System. This game it's basic, very basic, but then again, games back then, they're just a bunch of pixels that made a lot of beeping noises, so, yeah. And this game actually has a very, very big significance to the gaming industry as a whole. So, back in the old days, the olden days, the video game industry was a big fat flop by 1983, as evident by the infamous video game crash of 83. You know, it was tough times, very tough times, and so companies tried to save the dying industry, and Nintendo came out. They tried marketing the NES with Rob the Robot. Sure, more than just a game, I guess. But I think the true breakout star of the NES at that time was Super Mario Brothers. Side-scrolling goodness. And the gaming industry was saved. I mean, think about that, folks. Think about that. We take this game for granted nowadays, but this was new back then. This blew everybody's mind. I wasn't there, obviously, but just try to imagine it. You know, you go from like Atari 2600 to this, and the difference is night and day. It'll blow your socks off, and that's what Mario did. Although, truth be told, Mario wasn't necessarily the big boy he was still, but I mean, this game did take the world by storm at the very least. And again, for all we know, if this game didn't come out, or if it flopped, video games probably wouldn't exist today. Kids, take note of this. You little kids sneaking, watching this video when you're not supposed to. You wouldn't have your Minecrafts, your Fortnites, not even your goddamn Roblox, if it wasn't for Super Mario Brothers. This sounds really freaking... You guys get what I'm trying to say. Don't go looking for trouble. But as the game itself, I mean, granted, it is old, as it has, you know, some oddities. It's very slippery. But, again, video games were still young, and these kind of side-scrolling games, it was all new. It was all new, pretty much. So, but it's still a lot of fun to play. It's still a blast to play. I have beaten the game once. I beat it with warp zones. Never went through the whole game as a whole. But, hey, that counts. Shut up. It counts. Okay. But point is, Super Mario Brothers, pretty much took the elements of the Mario Bros. Arcade game, improved a lot, and made it scroll. And Nintendo, they struck gold with that, let me just tell you. But I mean, would I say it's great? Not too high up there nowadays. Good? Maybe. But I'll definitely say okay. It definitely is an okay game. And at least everybody who's a Mario fan, I was about to say Shan, is that even a word? A Mario fan should at least play this game at least once, or twice, or 15 times. So, yes. So, but this game, big success in Japan. Huge, massive success in Japan. So, within less than a year, they released a sequel, which we did not get. You want to know why we didn't get this? Oh, because it was hard as nails. Hard as a rock. Oh boy, what we would later know it as Super Mario Brothers: The Lost Levels. Christ, what the hell here? Well, I know that, like, you know, when you make a great game, you gotta make it more challenging. The sequel, you gotta make it more challenging for the returning players. This is not how you do it. There's a limit, okay? I'm sorry, there's a limit. What is new? This added some new stuff. There were red piranha plants in here. The original ones were green. They moved a lot faster, more aggressive. Yeah, it's kind of funny because, you know, piranha plants would later become red as a whole. Hammer Bros walk towards you sometimes. Yeah, sure. Wind. The goddamn wind. What the hell? And oh yeah, the poison mushroom. Be honest, guys. When you first saw that, you fell for it. You fell for it. I sure as hell did. I shamefully admit that I fell for that. But yeah, and then there's like, what, the special world? They have to beat the game like how many times to get to? Yeah, truth be told, never beaten this game legit. With save stats, abso-freaking-lutely. I will not hide that fact. Never beat this game legitimately, and I don't think I ever will. And honestly, truth be told, as good as you are, I'm sorry, it's bad. It's bad. Oh boy. Anyone in Japan, you're a god if you beat this game as a child. That is if you can even afford it, because in Japan this was a disc game. The Famicom had a disc drive add-on that certain games required to play. It was complicated. I'm not getting into it here. So we didn't get this game. We didn't get this game until, like, the NES version at the very least. We didn't get until, like, the Wii Virtual Console, and that was my first exposure to it. I haven't forgot the year exactly, 2009, 2010, I'm not sure. If someone wants to verify in the comments, then please do. But what did we end up getting? Well, Nintendo, they took another game that they made around the time called Doki Doki Panic, and slapped Mario on it, and I'll just put it down for a second, and all they did was just they take out the characters, stitch in Mario characters, remove some items, put some mushrooms in there, and you got yourself a Mario game. Besides, I mean, like, you know, people would expect the sequel's gotta have new stuff anyway, so all these Doki Doki Panic characters, nobody will mind. It sounds really stupid, I know, but Super Mario Bros. 2 is good. It's really good, in fact. You know, I'm not gonna hide it. Actually, out of all the classic Mario Brothers games, this one is one of my favorites, honestly. So, it's going at the top of good. I can't say it's great, but I gotta say it's good. This game, even though it was clearly, when you look behind the surface, you could tell it's not a real Mario game. Well, okay, look back in time. You time travel. You believe it, you might not believe this, but this right here. This is the game that put Mario on the map. The US was crazy for this game. I think it outsold Doki Doki Panic. It was all over. It was on the news at one point. Why do you think the Super Mario Bros. Super Show? I almost said shoop. Is that even? The Super Show was heavily themed to Mario 2. Why do you think that? Needless to say, and most of the Doki Doki Panic characters were rebranded as Mario characters for future games, like Shy Guys, Ninjas, Bob-ombs, Pokies, Birdo. All of them were rebranded as Mario characters. And you know what, honestly, I think it was a wise choice for Nintendo to just kill off Doki Doki Panic. A franchise died because of this game. They stopped producing it at one point and just sold this one in Japan. That was bold decision, but hey, it worked. A cheap half-ass effort ended up being a big success, and that's just hilarious. But yeah, I think Super Mario 2 is a lot of fun. Pick up stuff, kill enemies with enemies. That was some funny ass shit right there. But it works. It's a great game, and out of all of the and plus like different characters. So you could choose a character to your liking. Like Mario's pretty standard. Luigi's very slippery and has a giant ass wobbly jump. Okay. Peach, I know she wasn't called Peach at the time, but come on, let's be real here. Keeping it simple for the kids out there. Peach floats, and she's pretty slow with stuff. Toad is fast, very fast. Picks stuff up really fast. Fast little guy, although his jumping is pretty damn weak, but you know, you choose someone to your liking. I like that. I like options. And Super Mario Bros. 2 most certainly had that. And also, there's another reason why it's not in great. There's another reason for that. We'll get to that. Moving on, though. We need to go portable, guys. We've been big for too long. Mario needs to shrink at some point. The enemy, or the Goomba, or the Goombo in this case, needs to touch Mario at some point. This is Super Mario Land for Game Boy. Important notes. This introduced Princess Daisy. I've read somewhere that at one point Nintendo said that Daisy and Peach were just the same character. That doesn't make a lot of sense to me. Yeah, I don't think so. This is pretty much on par with Mario Bros, except it's shorter. A lot shorter. But it's still like, again, it's in the same vein. It's, you know, it's very simple. It's a game that you can pick up and play. And that's fine, Short games don't bother me as long as they're accessible is all. Unless, like, you know, they're hard, and then the point is, like, you know, you gotta be really skillful to beat this, whatever. I don't know what I was going with that, forget that. But where's Mario Land gonna go? There's not a lot to say about these old Nintendo games, because the plot, there's basically no plot to these games. Or they're very slim, so, like, you can't really, like, sit here and talk for too long. But I think Mario Land, I'll go in the back of okay for Mario Land. It's kind of funny, and Daisy would be the first Mario character in a mainline game to get reduced for Mario side characters, but reduced to a Mario side character. But that wouldn't happen until like the end of the 90s or the new millennium. So yeah, but you know, Daisy has her fans, so that's all that matters. Now let's move on to what people consider the big boy of the NES Super Mario games. Super Mario Bros. 3. Now, this pretty much took everything from Mario Bros. 1, Super Mario Bros. 1, not Mario Bros. Wow, okay, that was off. And I guess it kind of gave it a bit of the controls of Mario 2, America, not Japan. And we, whatchamacallit, we Americans had to wait a long f***ing time for this. Oh boy, okay, that was an accident. Japan got this 1988. We didn't get it until 1990. So, yeah, Why, thank you very much, Japan. This game, a lot of fun. More items. Raccoon suit, Tanuki suit, Hammer Bro suit, Frog suit, Goomba shoe. Okay, that one was it's funny seeing Mario in a boot, but hey, what can you? It's only one level or so. I don't know. I forgot. But a lot of new enemies too. I mean, the Chain Chomp. You got Spike, Boomerang Bro, Fire Bro, Sledge Bro. Who else appeared in this game for the first time? Who else? The Koopalings. Okay, when did Bowser have kids? Yeah, I mean, they would later become, Nintendo would later say they're no longer related to Bowser, but at the time they were his kids. Boom Boom, pathetic. He was very pathetic. You got Swamps, Boos, airships, tanks, battleships. Darkland looks like freaking hell. Wow. Oh boy. But yeah, Mario 3 was crazy. Holy crap, secrets galore. Mario 3 is another fantastic NES game. Probably the best one out there. I have a soft spot for Super Mario Bros. 2, but Super Mario Bros. 3 is so close. Ooh, so close to Super Mario Bros. 2. But yeah, Super Mario Bros. 3 was truly where it was at. If you were back in the day, if you were there playing these games back in the day. But out of these classic pixelated Mario games, none of them compared to Super Mario World. Oh yes, Super Mario World. I think Mario creator Shigeru Miyamoto said once that this was his all-time favorite Mario game that was ever made. I don't know if that statement has survived the test of time, but I can definitely see where he was coming from. For one thing, it introduced the Yoshi. Your boy the Yoshi made his debut in this game. And the Cape Feather. Oh boy, take the raccoon power up and give it make it more powerful. Break it in half. Basically, the Cape Feather is the best Mario item by default. If you can master it, you can just skip the whole freaking level, and I love it for that reason. It's a lot of fun to mess around with. A lot of interesting enemies here. Charging Chucks, Goombas got rounder. Ate too much McDonald's. Later they were revived as Galoombas, as their own kind of Goomba species, but blue and yellow Koopas. What else? Wigglers. The Big Boo. Holy crap. There was some other probably notable enemies that I'm completely forgetting from this game. Yeah, I'm sure I could think of some. The P-Balloon's a piece of crap. Yeah, don't bother with that. And, yeah, Mario, a lot more secrets. Some secrets make the game a lot more accessible for the younger ones. Bowser has a clown car. I don't know what drugs he was doing. His castle has a back door. Oh, boy, and a big flashing neon sign, too. As if, yeah, you think you're hoping that Mario ain't gonna find where you are, Bowser? You're pretty stupid for putting that sign up. I'm sorry. There's no denying it. You were a bit of a dim bulb in this game. But yeah, Super Mario World was a lot of fun. Arguably the best controls in any 2D Mario. It did kind of go a bit backwards with the hit system, where, no matter what kind of, you got like a Fire Flower or a Cape Feather, if you get hit, you go right back to Small Mario. The Mario Brothers 1 had that. 3 didn't have that, so they kind of went backwards there. But, I guess that was to make up for the the new item box, the item storage that you had within the game. That was probably why. Mario 3, you could also store items, but not in you access them in the levels. It was only on the map. But yeah, Super Mario World, what a great game, and the music's great too. So, that one goes up in great, most definitely. And, moving up, okay, this one a little word to talk about. This is arguably considered as Mario's best 2D game ever made, unless Wonder overtakes it, because I think the reason why a lot of people love this game is just for how weird it was. Super Mario Land 2, these 6 golden coins. This game is significant for another reason. It introduced the Wario. Actually, he wasn't even Italian during this time. I think Nintendo originally envisioned the character as a German. It's a complicated story. I'm not going to go into it here. But I introduced Wario. And once again, much like Daisy, main villain of a mainline Mario game, gets reduced in terms of Mario to a Mario Extra. But hey, Wario was a popular character enough to get his own series of games. So, I mean, there's that. So it's not in the same vein as Daisy, but like, you know, still, in terms of like the Mario games, I mean, I'm just saying it would be nice to see Wario back as a boss. But, yeah, this game's fine. It's good. It's a good game. It's decent. I wouldn't say I am the biggest fan of it like everyone else is. The rabbit Mario, the bunny Mario, the carrot, whatever. That's a cool power-up. Like, it's pretty busted, too. Like, again, another item where you could just glide across the whole stage. Interesting bosses. You got, like, a witch. A rat with a drill out for a nose? Okay. Is that like an actual animal that I don't know. I'm not, this is not freaking Animal Planet. Don't come after me. The three little pigs. I'd expect like the big bad wolf, but no, the three little pigs want you dead too. But yeah, this is a very interesting, interesting game. One thing that does rub me the wrong way is that if you get a game over, you lose all of the gold coins that you, collect. And I'm not talking about like collectible coins. I'm talking about, like, the main collectibles that you need to get to Wario's place. Or, technically, it's Mario's place. When did he get a castle? When did he get his own land? This is, this Nintendo store. Usually people complain about Nintendo stores, but when it's this one, they don't give a crap. This is what I mean. Whatever. It's still a polished, playable game. The final level's a piece of shit. That's my old, I have to say that. I'm sorry. And again, the whole fact that it doesn't matter if you have all the coins. If you die, get a game over, you're done. You gotta go back. Okay, that's not cool. So I was gonna put it like in the top of okay, but I'm sorry, that game over system's a little bit busted, so I'm sorry, but this is risky, putting Mario Land 1 over 2, but I'm sorry, guys. I have personal beef, but I ain't gonna go too harsh because I know everyone's gonna want me dead if I do. Wait, did I put this in bad? I meant to put this in no. Oh boy, I meant to put that in no. I'm sorry, I wasn't thinking. Okay, on the subject of Mario Lost Levels. I'm screwing today. Mario All-Stars. This is a game, this is kind of our first, thing where Nintendo would probably, if I was under NDA with Nintendo, is that the right term? Or if I was like, I don't know, a Mario ambassador like Charles Martinet or something, I probably wouldn't be allowed to mention this game unless they gave me permission to. This is not on their website. This is Super Mario All-Stars. You know, before this time, where we're getting remakes of Mario vs. Donkey Kong, and Super Mario RPG, and Paper Mario the Thousand Year Door, Nintendo didn't really bother remaking Mario games, and this was one of the first instances where they did. This is a collection of remakes on the Super Nintendo, takes all of the NES Mario games, including the Lost Levels, and gives them a 16-bit coat of paint, and it's, pretty good. It's pretty good. I can't really put it in great because it's still it's pretty much, I have the same opinions. There are some improvements, and the graphical overhaul is pretty nice. Although, like, they try to mimic the slippery controls of, like, these two games. They made it so, like, you don't have to beat the game a million times to access the special world, or whatever that was. It's only once. So, there's that. But I'm putting it at the top of good because it's still fine. Why aren't I including the version with Super Mario World? Because, I mean, like, it's its own game. There wasn't really many differences between the version on this and that. Only difference was Luigi had his own set of sprites, which were very weird, may I add. But, so that's why. That's why I'm not including it. I don't blame Nintendo for not really doing that either. Yeah, that version's pretty cool, too. That's another cool version, so I'll say that at the very least. But yeah, Super Mario All-Stars. I think in Japan there was like this promotional tie-in with the Super Mario Brothers movie. Not the new one that just came out, the live-action one with Bob Hoskins. That one. Never saw that one. I've heard that it has a cult following now. That's interesting. I remember back when everybody hated that. Times have changed. Things can change, people. Things can change. For all we know, we might come to a day in this life where Super Mario World is hated. Who knows? Anything can happen. But, you know, Mario's been 2D for a long time. Also, I don't know if I've ever said this, but I think I missed the whole point. This wasn't on their website. That's what I was getting at. But yeah, Mario, 2D guy. 2D, flat, hand-drawn. We need to fix that. We're close to we're close to the beginning of a new millennium here. We need to stick them in 3D. This is Super Mario 64. Time to blow some minds, people. We got 3D gaming at its finest. Granted, this game, control-wise, has definitely gone a bit off the, not aging well side, but it's still a playable game, if you ask me. I definitely would say, like, a game like Banjo-Kazooie is better, but, you can't go wrong with Super Mario 64. I still think it works. I still think it works, and a lot of significant things here, a lot of interesting new characters. Whomp! It's like a thwomp on legs, and it's flatter, and it tries to crush you with its face. Except you got a giant weak spot, buddy. You're failing. King Bob-omb, or Big Bob-omb as he's called here. A lot of what other interesting characters. I mean, those are pretty much the only significant ones that went on to do other things. Unless there's another one I'm forgetting about. But needless to say, Super Mario 64 is a lot of fun. It was also the first proper Nintendo game that Charles Martinet voiced Mario. He had voiced Mario in other games before, but they were not like Nintendo-made Mario games. They were like the crappy PC Mario games that people, Nintendo wants you to forget about. I think the first time he ever voiced the character was like 1991, 92, I'm not sure. But this was the first time that he voiced Mario for an officially made Nintendo game. If you ever wonder why they always say this was his first game, that's why. Because this was the first time he voiced for whatchamacallit, and yeah, I know he's no longer the voice of Mario, but goddamn it, I'm talking about history here. Yeah, Super Mario 64, a lot of fun. You backflip, jump. You don't have to walk on a freaking narrow path now. I mean, there are parts of the game where you do that, but still, you could run around in a circle all you want. Mind blown for some kid who was playing this game in 1996. So yeah, Mario 64. I like Mario 64 honestly. In fact, you know what? I gotta say, it's great. I like 3D games more. I'm sorry, I'm putting Super Mario 64 on the top of this list. It's a great game, and it's another Mario staple that everybody should play at least once. Collect stars. You can go about the game in almost any order you want, and I love that. I love any approach that you can take in a game. I love that. Open world games, I love those. So, on the subject, we're going back to ports. Here's another game that is not on Nintendo's website, but I'm going to include here because they include other ports on their website. Super Mario Bros. Deluxe. Now, this is essentially a Game Boy Color port of Super Mario Brothers. There was no proper Mario Brothers game on Game Boy Color. I just realized that. Okay, that was, I guess that they kind of cheapened out here. Then again, the next console we'll get into didn't really have one either and had a similar-ish thing. So, yes. Super Mario Bros. Deluxe. So this thing, multiplayer versus thing. Never got to experience that. I wish they would add this to NSO so I could. Let's see, what else? You could race a Boo. You could unlock the lost levels. Joy! Yeah. You could play as Luigi by pressing select. They updated his colors, so I guess people wouldn't get confused with Fire Mario, because, yeah, I didn't say this. In Super Mario Brothers, Fire Mario and Fire Luigi had the same exact sprite. They both turn red. But yeah, they fixed that here. They have, this challenge mode where you have to collect, red coins and find a hidden Yoshi egg in the level and a lot of things. It's pretty cool. You have a bunch of unlockable pictures. There's like a slot machine or something. Yeah, that's, okay, slot machine. Yeah, sure. They added a bunch of extra little content like, like Game Boy printer stuff, customize your own opening. Yeah, I like the extra content is welcoming. It's not going too high, honestly. I mean, I'd say it's like, in terms of the content, it's better than Super Mario Brothers. You do get a crop screen, though. Actually, for that reason, do I want to really put it above, screw it. I think the extra content is pointless, but screw it. I mean, they're close together anyway, so it doesn't really matter at this point. Anyway, Super Mario Bros. Deluxe. Why don't we continue the trend? Somebody at Nintendo's headquarters are like, okay, you know what? We want to focus on these 3D games. Sure, we gotta blow some minds too, but you know, for our handheld system, let's not go too extraordinary right away. Let's go with the Super Mario Bros. Deluxe route and just port some games with some fancier things. And that's how we got Super Mario Advance, which was pretty much Mario Bros. Deluxe, but with Super Mario Bros. 2. And, okay, again, this, I'm saying this before, there's a reason why these games are not in great. This is it. This is my preferred way of playing Super Mario Bros. 2. If you're wondering why, this is because this is the first 2D Mario game I ever played. So, we're hitting on nostalgia here, folks. So, I had a lot of talking in the game. A lot of talking, honestly. Very weird. Considering it's GBA, I guess they wanted to show off the graphical capabilities that we could produce more voice clips than a Super Nintendo, which was only capable of, like, I don't know, 50 lines in the game. Let's give them 100. Actually, I don't think the game has a... That could be entirely off. Don't look that up. They had a remake of Mario Bros, which was pretty cool. The battle mode was a lot of fun in that. I love that battle mode. That was really fun. But yeah, a lot of, the things are a bit remixed. They got giant Shy Guys now, and giant ninjas, and, one of the bosses is replaced by a giant Birdo robot. Interesting. And, yeah, not much to say. It's still the same game. It's a lot more easier, but I just like it, honestly, and, I love the opening music, too. I think it was recently found, or like a few years back, maybe a long while back, they found, clean versions of the music. There's this thing going around saying that the music in the game is screwed up, and it's not at the right pitch. Except it is. I'm sure that when they say pitch, they don't mean it, I right-clicked. Okay. Sorry, I felt myself go down, and that sounds wrong. Point is, Super Mario Advance, love it. Love it, love it. I probably wouldn't be into Super Mario games as a whole if it weren't for this game. And for that reason, it's going up in S. I can't put it above Super Mario World. I just can't. But it's going up in S for me. I'm sorry, guys. Oh, speaking of Super Mario World, we also have Super Mario Advance 2, which is just full-on called Super Mario World. Oh, by the way, in case some of you are wondering, I'm not counting Super Mario Advance 3. Because that's Yoshi's Island. Sure, again, Super Mario in the title, but again, Yoshi's Island. Yoshi was doing his own thing. Kind of. He was doing his own thing, and he became his own series. So, yeah, that's why I'm not counting that. Super Mario World 2. Not Super Mario World 2. Oh, god damn it, Yoshi! Super Mario Advance 2. Same kind of deal. Except they don't really try to remix things here for the most part. They try to stick with it. The only thing that they really remix is Luigi, who you can now switch to. And, he's got, like, that jump in Super Mario Bros. 2 he has, which is a little weird. And, when you're playing as, Yoshi... Well, when you're not playing as Yoshi, you can't play as Yoshi. When you're riding Yoshi as Luigi, Yoshi can do different things that he couldn't do in the Super Nintendo game. So that's interesting. But, truth be told... It's fine. It's a fair port, but I can't say it's really my favorite version. I'd say the original is still my favorite. Still a decent port. I think I'll scrape this one in the back, in the front of good, not the back, the front of good, because you know, the opening music was pretty nice. I loved the opening of that game. But yeah, I can't really put it any higher, but it was still a lot of fun, though. It's still Super Mario World, despite the lowered or the smaller resolution and such, and whatever the heck they did to Luigi. What have we here? Oh boy, Super Mario Sunshine. Now this game, this is probably regarded as the black sheep of the Super Mario games. This is often regarded as the worst Mario game, one of the worst Mario games ever made by Nintendo. And I guess for good reason. It's got the polish of a licensed game. Can you believe that? Can you believe that? Okay, maybe that's over-exaggerating a bit, but this game it was weird. It was weird. You'd think people would like it because it was weird. People like weird Mario. And, you know, I mean, yeah, the Strolling Stew had some weird pants. Petey Piranha was probably a weird sight to behold. Gooper Blooper. You rip off his limbs. And rip off his mouth. That pretty. That's all I can say is pretty. This game introduced Bowser Jr. That's a note. A lot more voice acting. Again, we were in a very small voice acting phase. Introduced Toadsworth, who Nintendo killed because Flood, I thought Flood was a lot of fun, but I'm not gonna go saying this game is perfect. Those bonus games, what were you thinking, Nintendo? What were you on? What drugs were you doing? What were you, the Poison River? What was that? The pachinko machine? Were you on crack? Were you snorting cocaine? Oh my god, like, Jesus Christ. But, I'm not gonna go saying that this is the worst game I've ever played. It's pretty low for Nintendo standards, but I'm not gonna go saying that it's the worst game in the world that everyone says. But, can't say it's, the best game in the world. But I enjoy it. I fairly enjoy it. I screw around in it every summer, so, how high is this gonna go? You know what, I'll put it at the top of good. That's pretty risky, but hey, it's not in great. Be happy for that. Gabbity-labbity-loop-boop, or whatever the Piantas say. Yeah, whatever. It's not in great. Be happy. Oh my god. Okay. Let's wrap up our little early port game so we can be in line with Nintendo. Starting with Super Mario Advance 4, Super Mario Brothers 3. Yeah, pretty much in the same line as Super Mario World. It's pretty much just like the stuff. You had Luigi's weird 2 jump again. Okay. And one interesting thing is that this had e-reader support. And Nintendo's actually made the e-reader levels accessible on a virtual console release on Wii U and NSO, which is very much appreciated, because I feel like I'd expect them to not do that otherwise. So I appreciate that at the very least. If only they can give us the transfer pack characters in Mario Golf and Tennis on NSO, but they don't do that. Never did that. Whatever. Whatever. Who wants to play as Harry anyway? So, again, this is the same sort of thing. We're pretty much repeating ourselves here because it's the same kind of deal. We're just we're taking like the All-Stars version, adding some dialogue and Mario Bros and such. So, where is this one gonna go? I'd probably say above All-Stars. It's pretty much in that kind of similar vein. So, yeah. And then finally, and after this game, we will be back on track with Nintendo's official website. We have Super Mario 64 DS, a game that I only assume was made to show off the power of the DS and that it could handle 3D games. I think this one was fine. Why was Wario with them? I mean, I'm not against it because I like Wario, but it just seems weird. Maybe he went to steal Peach's money. Maybe he just tagged along and is like, yes, I'd like to join along. Totally not going to steal any moolah, you know. Yeah, probably that. This game had some pretty fun minigames. I like the casino ones particularly. I'm probably the only guy who feels this way. But, yeah, pretty interesting. You don't start the game as Mario, you start it as Yosh. That's very interesting. Luigi was brought on probably because of the goddamn L is real crap that people were spreading across the internet. Did I just click on that? That was a mistake. Well, there we go. But yeah, there was 30 additional stars, some remix stuff, and some extra bosses. It was good. It was great. I do kind of prefer Super Mario 64, the original, in some ways, but I'm not going to deny that this was pretty good still, so I'll put it at great, but behind Super Mario 64. I still think it was a decent game. A decent game. I don't even know what I was about to say. Still a decent game. And definitely did a great job showing the potential of the DS. So, way to go on that. Moving on, we got, so, have we been focusing a bit too much on 3D, guys? And, I mean, let's look back at ourselves for a second. Our last original Mario game was Mario Land 2. And we spent all this time during our 3D phase, porting the older games. What are we doing? We need to get Mario back into the 2D phase with a new Super Mario Brothers. And, oh, they did a great job doing that. I've heard that the point of this game was to introduce newer players to the original Mario format while making it fresh. And, you know, letting old players rediscover the charm of the original games. And also not make it too hard for the kids out there. And they did great. They did a great job with New Super Mario Brothers. It was a great little novelty game. I really liked it. Bowser Jr. is a boss like 500 times. I don't know how he could put up with that. Some interesting bosses too. Like you got like a Mummy Pokey. You got like a Thunder Lakitu, like a Lakathunder, I think his name was. Or was that the thing from another game we're talking to? I don't know. We got Petey Piranha, my boy Petey, of course. A giant Goomba. Nothing, just a giant Goomba. Sure. Okay. Dry Bowser made his debut in this. Yeah. The blue shell power-up, whatever. Mega Mushroom, holy crap! That was some shit for the ages. It have the mini-games from Mario 64 DS, which was much appreciated in my opinion. When you beat the game, you can play as Luigi. It's a lot of fun. It's a great little game. You get the eels from Super Mario 64 going in there, and the sharks as well. I think Sushi was his name. And then you got the Womps too. Like, this was a lot of crazy stuff, and they introduced a lot of like new gimmicks and such. And it was really cool. And you had like triple jumping from like a lot of the 3D Mario stuff. Like, oh, actually no, technically that was only wall jumping and triple jumps. But still, the point is, they wanted to modernize. They wanted to make a modern 2D Mario, and they succeeded well, very well, in New Super Mario Brothers. So where is this one gonna go? I'll put it above Super Mario 64 DS. I can't put it above Super Mario 64 because I still like that game. You know, I'm a 3D guy, but I will not deny the greatness that was New Super Mario Brothers. But moving on, let's get back to 3D. You know, things don't have to be open world. I mean, I like open world, but there's nothing wrong with a nice, straightforward game. And Super Mario Galaxy was kind of that. It did have some free range as well, but Super Mario Galaxy was a crazy game. So, the Wii is right around the corner. Nintendo got to promote this game. Didn't come out until like a year later, I think. But, you know, the motion control stuff, I mean, it's fine. It worked. It's a great game. I love Super Mario Galaxy. Introduced Rosalina, who was very mysterious in this game. She was at first like a very mysterious character. She had a very spooky voice too. Ooh. This was long before Nintendo seduced her to or reduced her. Not seduced. That's an entirely different thing. Stay out of here. Reduced her to a Mario Extra, but you know, she was a very interesting character, and her backstory. Very emotional stuff for a Nintendo game. You don't actually see that in Nintendo games. Props to whoever wrote the Rosalina backstory. It's, you know, a Nintendo game that can make you cry. That's an achievement. How long? What's been taking you guys so long? I don't know, maybe there was another game before that that I haven't played. I only do Mario, sorry. Maybe a couple of Kirby here and there. Maybe a Pikmin, I'm not sure. But yeah, walking all over the place in this game, wow. You could turn Mario into ice and become Jesus Christ. That almost rhymed. Did that rhyme? I don't know. Walk on ice and become Jesus Christ. Okay, no, it didn't rhyme, but you get the idea. You could turn into a bee, a spring. Okay, the spring was a piece of shit, but the point is, yeah, great. It was honestly some good stuff right there. And, yeah, a lot of, Galaxy-esque stuff. It was a lot of fun walking around. And, yeah, I really enjoyed, Super Mario Galaxy. Definitely another Mario game that you need to play to know Mario. Like, that's a Mario game that you need to know if you want to be a Mario fan. In fact, you know what? You know what? It's the top of the game. Top. Up there, above Super Mario 64. Because that right there, my friend, was a truly great game. So, well, we've done some 3D again, so why don't we go back to 2D with new Super Mario Bros. Wii. Now, this game took the format of New Super Mario Bros. And brought it to the Wii with 4-player multiplayer. Chaos, yes. Preference, no. Sorry. I mean, maybe with one other guy, but not like 3 other people. Oh, jeez. This game, it showed some signs. And, you know, we didn't think much of it. I most certainly didn't think much of it when this game happened. But, things, got a lot more simpler than DS. I mean, we kind of kept things very similar to that. Some new music, some new gimmicks. We brought back the Koopalings. Very interesting. And in this game, it seemed like a nice little novelty thing. Like, hey, they brought them back after so long. That's nice. But wait until we get later on, folks. It's gonna get ugly. Yeah, the new Super Mario Bros. Wii was still a lot of fun, though. I can't say it was my favorite. I can't exactly say that it's, like, better than DS. I think DS, still holds that title for now. So what am I gonna put on New Super Mario Bros. Wii? I think I'll put it behind Sunshine. Also, Peach got kidnapped on her birthday. Poor bitch. Oh, boy. Yeah. Great day to get stolen. Oh, boy. But, yeah. You know, it was funny screwing up the multiplayer game, putting everybody in the bubble and having the music just frick up or something. Wow. Yeah, I'm corny for saying that. I don't want to do too much editing here, guys. Christ. We're in dire times. Cut me some slack. But yeah, New Super Mario Bros. Wii was still fun, but, yeah, things are gonna turn later on. Super Mario Galaxy 2. I'm saying the name of the game before I even pull it up. I actually played this game again recently because I didn't remember anything about it, so I had to play it again for this video. And, yeah! It's basically an expansion, pretty much. Can't say it's, like, really doing anything different. I mean, you got the Yosh. You could turn him into a blimp. If you're a DeviantArt person, please do not get any ideas. Not saying that everybody on DeviantArt is like that. I know some people who are not like that. You could give him the runs. The runs. Spicy food gives you the runs. That's a joke for you. Toilet humor. And then you could put like 1,000 voltage in him, like turn him into a light bulb, pretty much. I was trying to make that funny, and I failed. It can happen, folks. It can happen. And then Cloud Mario came here. Lubo as a sarcastic fat ass. Not sarcastic, but he joked a lot. Corny. Nintendo games. The comedy in Nintendo games typically ranges from whatchamacallit, the corny to okay. Unless it's like the Mario Sports openings on GameCube. That's some good stuff right there. Mario Galaxy 2, it improved a lot. Introduced a lot of stuff. The levels were a lot bigger. They had throwback to Womp's Fortress. Nice. Much appreciated. In fact, you know what? For that reason, bop, 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 perfect. perfection. Thy name is Super Mario Galaxy 2. That's not thy name, that's Vu's name. Okay, I'm saying that's entirely wrong. You get what I'm trying to say! Super Mario Galaxy 2, massive improvement, better levels, honestly, and it's a very great game. Another game that you should definitely play. How come that wasn't in another game that we're gonna get to soon? Whatever. Okay, so big games, but we got a new handheld on the way, the 3DS. So let's really wow people. We might have wowed some people with DS, showing that yes, you can bring a 3D game on the go, but can we make it a higher quality? And in the case of Super Mario 3D Land, I say yes, you can, because oh my God, Super Mario 3D Land. Oh, I love this game. Honestly, honestly, sure, these Mario games pretty much follow the same plot. Bowser kidnaps Peach. Go across the land to save her. And that's why I'm not talking about plots that much, unless they are slightly different. And even then, I haven't been doing that. But, it's what a Mario game does that attracts me. And honestly, like a 2.5D Mario game, or Mario platformer game. I honestly I found that more fun than I thought I would, honestly. I loved Super Mario 3D Land. They brought back the Tanuki suit, although you couldn't fly with it. That was a bit crap, but I guess, this kind of game, you'd probably break every level if you did that. They brought back what did they do? How am I gonna put this? They had the new item, the Boomerang Flower, which is kind of similar to the Hammer Bros suit, except, you throw boomerangs. And, yeah, it had a new Super Mario Brothers thing with the star coins. I think they were star medals here. They kind of looked like that in Mario Galaxy 2 with the comet medals, or I forgot what they were already called. But yeah, it's a very simple game. Definitely like a kids' first Mario game, and I think it does a great job. And it's not a short game either. You might be able to like get through the game pretty easily, but once you beat the game, there's like a whole nother section of the game. You only beat half the game. A lot of the Nintendo games do that, where like you get through the main experience, and then there's like a post game kind of thing. Like there's post game stuff. And this is not the grandest example of it. It's definitely welcoming. And you can unlock Luigi, and then it's a right grind to get to the end of the game. You gotta beat every level with both Mario and Luigi. But, it can be done. In fact, I did it. That's my dedication. And, you know what? This game, this might be a bit risky putting it above the Galaxy games, but I'm gonna do that. I loved Super Mario 3D Land. Nintendo, while you're porting Luigi's Mansion 2 to Switch, give me Super Mario 3D Land HD. Please, please. I know that the 3D stuff, that could be a problem, because there are parts of the game that do require the 3D mode turned on, but I'm sure you could figure out a way. If you could do it with Luigi's Mansion 2, god damn it, give me Super Mario 3D Land on Switch. Please. Before you move on to your next console, that is a requirement. Please. Sorry, I love Super Mario 3D Land. I'd love to do a Let's Play for that, but, yeah, can't because, 3DS capture, off market, Nintendo kind of, killed that. But yeah, that's another reason. Moving on, we're still on 3DS, and we got new Super Mario Bros. 2. Okay, so this is kind of confusing to somebody out there. I think I was kind of confused at the same time when this happened. New Super Mario Bros. This is the first one. New Super Mario Bros. Wii. The second one in the new Super Mario Bros. Series, so we assume that's the sequel. No, this game comes out and it's new Super Mario Bros. 2. Apparently that brings me to the assumption that New Super Mario Bros. Wii is not a chronological sequel, and this is the chronological sequel to New Super Mario Bros. Truth be told, though, it did not feel like that. It felt more like a chronological sequel to New Super Mario Bros. Wii because it shared a lot of the same elements, enemies, and scenarios as New Super Mario Bros. Wii. It did have some stuff from DS, like the Womps and such, and like how the Koopalings take Peach along the world map, and the world map itself also was kind of very reminiscent of the first game. But again, too much like New Super Mario Bros. Wii, and this is where we kind of see the true colors of the new Super Mario Bros. Games. This game, actually, before I talk about that, the whole gimmick of this game, it's all about the moolah. You gotta collect coins and such. I think the 100% of the game, you need to become a millionaire. Never managed to do that. I don't own the game anymore either, because I got sick of it. Yeah, this game, I remember I bought this game, I think like shortly after launch, and I think I got through the main story within the first night, and I was pretty disappointed by the ending because it was really copying New Super Mario Bros. Wii in a lot of ways. And and they brought back more old stuff from the older games, like the raccoon suit, and the whatchamacallit, the Resnors from Super Mario World. But, you know, that, not really, doing so well there. So, yeah, I don't know, where is this one gonna go? It's still decent, but, I think I honestly would prefer, because, like, you know, I think I put it at the top of okay. I mean, like, you know, when this stuff first appeared in these games, I'm sure I sound like a Nintendo fan now when I'm talking about this. I hope you're happy, guys. Definitely, like, you know, when these things first appeared in these games, they were cool. And, like, you know, to some people, like, bringing them back in these games would be like, oh, yeah, that's a cool little throwback. But to some, you start picking up these things. By, like, the next game, you repeat the same stuff. And you're like, you're selling me the same game twice. And Nintendo says, no, we're not selling you the same game twice. We're selling you the same game 3 times. New Super Mario Bros. U, same game. It's the same game. Just with baby Yoshis that can inflate themselves. Again, don't stop, please. We brought back Sumo Bros from Super Mario World. We made one a boss. We brought back Boom Boom. He came back in Super Mario 3D Land, and again, that felt like a nice little throwback there. And you introduced a new variant, Pom Pom, so that was fine. But here, yep, it didn't fit in line. Koopalings again, and we're recycling everything from New Super Mario Bros. Wii and 2, and then the ending, same thing. Same thing with the ending. In fact, there's this one moment before the final fight with Bowser Jr. and Kamek, and they're like just looking at each other, and they're like, yeah, yep, we're gonna do it again. Oh god, we're gonna do it again. Like, yeah, you get, like, we get it, guys. You're gonna rub it in that you potentially made customers waste more money on the same game a third frickin' time. So basically the reputation of the new Super Mario Bros. Series is that, they're new games, sure, but they contain mostly old stuff. There's nothing really new in these games aside from, like, 1 or 2 things. Sure, you do see returning items. Some of the items come back, and, like, then again, that's in the special world. Never mind. You got the flying squirrel suit. Pretty lousy, honestly, in my opinion. Pretty lousy. I'm sorry. I don't really, nothing wasn't really that cool. And then what else? They introduced Nabbit. Little piece of shit. Where's this going? Let me think. Nah, you know what? I don't know if this might piss somebody else off out there. I'm putting it in meh. I don't even own the game anymore. And also, I'm not counting New Super Luigi U because, I mean, technically the game was later bundled with that, so I could kind of count that, maybe. But I'm not going to. Sorry, guys. Alright, so, man, new Super Mario Bros. Why can't we have something like Super Mario 3D Land? We can. New Super Mario, not new, Super Mario 3D World. Oh boy. This game was interesting. It was, pulling some stuff from Super Mario Bros. 2, where you could choose who you want to play as between Mario, Luigi, Peach, and Toad. Very much appreciated. As I've said, I'm a fan of Mario 2. And I actually bought this game relatively close to launch. I think like a month after launch. With my Christmas money 1 year. I think the year it came out, 2013. This game is turning 10 years old soon. Oh my god. Oh, I'm old. I am... Okay, I'm not gonna try and think of that. This is a great game. The Katsu, a lot of fun climbing up walls, gotta say. A lot of people did not like the fact that they took the Super Mario 3D Land and applied it to an HD console when it was capable of so much more. I'll admit that was very strange. Very strange, but I still think it was a lot of fun to play. A lot of fun. That final level! Oh, by God! I'm not talking about like the Bowser fight, no. I'm talking about like the end game. That you get for like completion or something. That! Yike! You could collect stamps for, what is it, Miiverse? Me Street, Street, whatever. I mean, it was fine. It's cool at first. No point now because the things are dead. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. That, a stage themed to Mario Kart. I gotta pay my dues there. That was pretty cool. They brought back the Charge and Shucks. This is where they established, then again, Mario Party Advance kind of did that. Whatever, forget it. You had Galoombas. There, I said it. You brought bullies back from Super Mario 64. They looked a little weird in this game. What else did they bring back? Not that much. Most of the enemies, though, are pretty original here. They didn't pull a new Super Mario Brothers here. There's a lot of, like, original enemies here. And especially, like, the bosses, too. Some of them are pretty lousy looking, and pretty lousy as bosses as a whole. But, hey, they're original bosses, original characters. I can accept that. I'll accept that. I'll give them a gold star for effort. But, yes, I think that this game was, pretty cool. Very great game. In fact, honestly, you know what? I think it was better than Super Mario 3D World. Honestly, I think it was a lot better than Super Mario. Not 3D Land. Super Mario 3D Land. It really just overtook it by like just a hair, a cat hair. Honestly, wow, that was great. Okay, moving on. Moving down the line. Here we go. We're moving right along. So this game, I wasn't gonna count this one, but Nintendo does consider it as part of the official Super Mario lineup. And it was made to celebrate the franchise's 30th anniversary, or at least the 30th anniversary of Super Mario Brothers. Super Mario Maker for the Wii U. I am judging this with both the Wii U and 3DS versions, because the 3DS version is pretty much a port. And with barely any differences, aside from, I think, the removal of online games, or which I think I'd argue was the point of Super Mario Maker, whatever. But yeah, Super Mario Maker was a crazy game. You could make your own Mario level. I remember when I first heard that back in like, when was this game announced? Like 2014, I think? I think it was announced in like 2014. It was bare bones when they announced it. Like, damn. Like, it was crazy how the game evolved as it was being developed. I was not excited for any more game than I was Super Mario Maker when it was around the corner. I stayed up. It was a school night, and I stayed up late to play this at midnight. Needless to say that I failed miserably on that day in school. Kids, the point is, the moral of the story, don't skip school. Don't skip school. Don't, just stay in school. Stay in school. But yeah, Super Mario Maker, you can make your own Super Mario Brothers, Super Mario Bros. 3, or Super Mario World level, a new Super Mario Bros. U level. The novelty is enough to sell me here. And it worked. The Wii U gamepad was being used as its finest, honestly. Its finest moment. Its finest use was Super Mario Maker. And then they, they had events that they would make, or, little event games, levels, or something, stuff. It was a lot of fun playing these levels online. Some of you bastards made some impossible levels. Holy crap. And then, the costume gimmick. I love the costume gimmick. A lot of fun. I really loved it. So where is this gonna go? Where is this gonna go, actually? You know what, honestly, it's a great game, but I don't play it as much as I used to, because I can't think of anything to make, honestly. That's my problem. So how far is this gonna go? It's gonna go in great, but where? Just where is this gonna go in great? No, maybe a little more. No, I'll stop right there. I think Super Mario 3D Land and Super Mario 3D World are better, but I mean, I will not deny the ability to make your own Mario level. That is amazing. I just screwed up by scrolling Ah, boy. Great, great, great. You guys got a little spoiler there. Ha, 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 ha. Life. Okay, moving on. So the video's been great. We got a lot of great games going on. Things have been great. So nothing can ruin us now. Wrong! It's time to go mobile. I picked up the wrong game. The video's falling apart, ladies and gentlemen. Get comfortable. Okay, Super Mario Run. Yeah, no, it's going in bad. It's going in bad. I'm sorry. I'm not crazy about these mobile Nintendo games. I went through the main game. I played the main game. I was never good at the online. And I lost a lot of shit for that reason. Yeah, it's pretty much like New Super Mario Brothers Wii or U on your phone. Except even more reduced in terms of original stuff. So yeah, if you hate New Super Mario Bros. Wii, 2, and U, you're not gonna have much fun with Super Mario Run. I mean, you know, I guess the whole Run novelty was, fine. It was cool. It was okay, you know, stuff. It was fine. It was fine, but I don't think, it's not, again, I have not played this, I think, since it launched. I have not touched it since 2016. Is that when the game launched? Yeah, I haven't touched it since 2016, and I really grew tired of it really fast. So I'd argue, if we count this as a New Super Mario Bros. Game, I'd argue it was the worst one. I'd argue it, undeniably, it was the worst one. I stick to Nintendo games that are on their consoles. Ah, boy. Okay, but moving on. We got a big boy coming up. The big boy. The biggest boy of them all. Unless you're somebody who hates it from the brief time that it was hated. Whatever. Super Mario Odyssey. So, Nintendo announced that they were going back to the sandbox format that was in Super Mario 64 and Sunshine. I mean, then again, you could they boot you out all the time. Whatever. Point is, Super Mario Odyssey, we were returning to some real shit, baby. Real shit. And what do we get with it? What do we got? We got arguably the best, the most graphically impressive Mario game ever made. Holy shit. Have you guys seen how this game looks? Have you seen how this game looks? Best Mario game. Maybe not the best looking game Nintendo's made, but most certainly the best looking Mario game they've ever made. So, little friendly Cappy. Very interesting feature. And the whole, you know, becoming the enemy. Control your foes. That is great. It's like backwards Kirby, almost. You don't eat the enemies and then become their power. You just become the enemy. That's, it's not as morbid, and it's still weird. But, hey, what can you do? It's Nintendo. They're supposed to be weird, I guess. Even when they're not trying to be weird, they're still weird. But, yeah. Super Mario Odyssey, this really, a lot of new stuff. Like, I think that was the thing here. No more of this new Super Mario Brothers stuff. This was, like, original stuff here. Original. And it was fantastic, honestly. No Koopalings. You got bunnies. I forgot the names of them. I haven't gone through the story mode in a long time. I think I just 100% of the game recently. So, and there's a reason for that. You got 999 moons in this game. Unless you buy some from the store, and then everything's gonna be off. But you get what I'm trying to say here. This is a big game. And the post game is so ginormous. Like, huge. Huger than Super Mario 3D Land and 3D All-Stars combined. Okay, maybe that's a stretch, but you get the idea. It's frickin-normous. And, they brought Pauline back. For, you know, she was just as old as Mario and Donkey Kong, and she was barely being used. Sure, she was in the Mario vs. Donkey Kong games, but, like, you know, it wasn't really much, and it was kind of complicating things because Toads were in those games. So, how do we bring Peach into this? Okay, whatever. But this game, like, they really, you know, I think this was, like, a great comeback for the character. She was the one who sang the the game's signature song, Jump Up Superstar. And, great song, by the way. Fantastic song. And, yes, and thanks to this game, she is now a Mario Extra. I mean, you could argue that's bad if you take what happened to Daisy and Rosalina and Wario, but considering that Pauline was barely being used, and she's just as historical as Mario and Donkey Kong, Give her some spotlight, and they're adding her to Mario Kart 8 Deluxe soon, which is great because I was hoping for her. Needless to say, I'm glad that Nintendo is, because it's weird. Back in like 2009, Pauline in like Mario Kart seemed very odd. It seemed off. Didn't seem like that they wouldn't do that. But then like after this, and when she was appearing in like Mario Tennis Aces, it seemed possible now. It seemed possible. And now it is possible, and it's happening, so I'm very happy. But yes, great game, Super Mario. I have friends who have not played this game yet. I don't know how to feel about that, but regardless, Super Mario Odyssey. My opinion. I don't know if there's anyone else who still hates the game, because I know there was a time where this game became hated. It had its own breakfast cereal! Did we step back into the 80s or 90s or 2000s all of a sudden? Point is, S all the way. Best Mario game, in my humble opinion, that you probably don't care about. Have I made that clear? Have I made that clear? I hope I made that clear. Oh boy. I feel like I made a big idiot. This was opinion-based. I'll probably have to put that on the screen in text form at the very beginning. Bottom line, I love Super Mario Odyssey. It's honestly my favorite out of all of these. I am sorry. Nothing's topping this one. I'm just sorry. But this one is my favorite one out of every Mario game. End of story. Bye-bye. See you later. Alright, so moving on. New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe. Okay, truth be told, I have not played this one. I have not played this one, although from what I've heard, it's pretty much the same game as like the bundle of New Super Mario Bros. U and Luigi U and all that, which I did own, but yeah, with some tiny extras, one of which being Peachette, which caused a meme, and for that very reason, actually, you know what, there. I actually heard there was a jumping issue in this one too, so, you know what, yeah, there we go, yeah, in fact, I'm feeling a bit generous. There we go. That's better. Things are balanced now. Yeah, I'm sorry. There's a reason why I don't play these new Super Mario Bros. Games anymore, and I'm afraid that those two things are the reason why I didn't bother picking that one up. Nintendo, why do you have to cause these things? Okay, moving on. We're almost to the end. We got another game that I wasn't going to count, but Nintendo counts it, so whatever. Super Mario Maker 2. We got the multiplayer now, and Super Mario 3D World. And it's cool. You got a story mode as well, which is pretty nice. Even though it's not a story, in a sense, it's lousy story. You get the idea. It's not really a story. It's poor excuse of one, that's for damn certain. But it's Mario. What are we expecting here? You're not expecting a freaking lecture or something. No, that's not the right. You get what I'm trying to say. This one is fine. Yeah, the only way you could really make levels with this is if you're in handheld mode. It's doable. It's possible in dock mode, but I just don't think you can do it. Plus, like, the Switch doesn't really have a stylus, so you'd have to buy, like, a pen that would work on the, like, a touchscreen pen or something. But yeah, I wouldn't say it's ideal. I wouldn't say it's ideal in the slightest, but it's still fun. The online, though, is a mess. It's a mess, so do I want to put it above? Oh, this thing is getting stretched. You know what? I'll put it behind the first game. I like the first game, honestly, because, the game definitely worked a little bit better with the Wii U gamepad. But I will not deny the amount of quality, and these two are like neck and neck with each other. That's what I'm trying to say before you flip out and get mad. Alright, moving on. What do we got? Oh, boy. Okay. Now, I know a lot of you are probably saying, why are you doing this? Why? Just why? Put that thing away. Put that thing back where it came from, or so help me. This is not a game anymore. You can't even buy this anymore unless you want to spend like $500 on eBay. But here's the thing. This game is still on Nintendo's official website, and the timeline for Super Mario games. I'm not kidding. Here is a screenshot. You could go there yourself. It's still on there, even though they do not sell this game anymore. This is Super Mario 3D All-Stars. What a piss-poor excuse of a game. I mean, like, these aren't even remakes. These are just, like, slightly up-resed ports. I mean, they work. They removed that one line from Super Mario 64, the Gay Bowser line. So, yeah, not cool. Sunshine is fine for the most part. Galaxy, I haven't even tested out Galaxy there. I think they use gyro controls for the pointer. I forgot. I haven't checked that one in a while. So where am I putting this? All-Stars is better. There's something wrong there. I'll put it behind the original All-Stars. Oh, boy. And finally, we move on to the last game before Super Mario Bros. Wonder comes out. And again, this is a port, but whatever. Nintendo has it on their website in the timeline, so why not? Super Mario 3D World on Switch plus Bowser's Fury. Bowser's Fury is pretty cool. Although that's really not really a part of it. That's just kind of its own thing. But it was still really cool. Honestly, really cool. Also, the Switch version as a whole is a little bit better. You got gyro controls, which is fine, I guess. I think they removed all of the microphone bits, the microphone parts, because there were parts in the original game where you had to blow into a microphone to make things happen. They removed that here and replaced it with things. I think I remember. I don't remember exactly where they were in the game, but I know that they were within the main campaign, and I haven't seen any here. So, yeah. And I think you move a lot faster too, which honestly I think is a lot fun. Honestly, a lot more fun. So, not much to say here. It's pretty much the same that I've said. The stamps are now colored in, which I like, and they're for a camera mode that is similar to what Odyssey has. So that's cool. But regardless, not much else to say, but I think the new additions are fine. They're welcoming, and Bowser's Fury puts it over the top, so yeah, put it above the Wii U version. And that's it. That's the tier list. What the hell even happened here? No, seriously. What the hell is happening here? Like, look. This is, I think, the first time in a tier list video where great has overtaken everything. And, like, down here, there's not a lot. I'm sure a lot of Nintendo fans are pissed off that there's not more down here, but shit, man, I wasn't expecting this. I love Mario games. That just goes to show how much I love Mario games. So, damn, yeah, that's first for this for these tier list videos. That great is the one to overtake everything. Usually it's the middle or it's no or something. So that's a very welcoming first. Very welcoming. So, yeah, with all of this said and done, thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. Be sure you'll follow me on to social media. I'll leave it in the description below. Let me know what your favorite Super Mario games are. And I hope we're all excited for Super Mario Bros. Wonder. Yeah, that's kind of another reason why I'm doing this tier list before it comes out, because I ain't gonna be able to afford it at the time it comes out. I'm not gonna be getting it at launch because other games that are happening that I find more important around that time, and plus my NSO subscription goes in around the same time. So, you know, you gotta pick your battles here. I'll play it eventually, but yeah, we'll be seeing you all soon. And oh, by the way, keep the spoilers to a minimal. That's not gonna happen. Okay. Just don't flood my DMs. Okay, so long, everybody, and have a wonderful day.